So I wanted to do a quick follow-up video to the stuff we did the other day. Basically, we got a good rain last night. It's actually still raining a little bit this morning, just sprinkling. But if you go down in our woods, you can actually everything is flowing and flooding, and which is awesome. But I wanted to show you what happened with the stuff that I did. So you can see here on the ground, this is the trench that we dug up, and this held up pretty well. That's great, I like that. Well, unfortunately what happened here, and it's a little hard to see, but what happened here is right through here, because the trench held up well and the potholes held up okay, we ended up with a lot more wash here. So, I mean, water's got to go someplace, and I know that. So, trying to figure out how the best way, you can see we can, right here against this tree, it all kind of washed out as well. It's got to go someplace, and I do know that. So, trying to figure out the best way to manage that water is the trick. Now, it is really difficult to see because we're talking about slight variations in gravel here, but the potholes did kind of hold up. Not as well as I would have liked. Probably should have just dug the whole area out and filled it all in with the big rocks, but that is what it is. So trying to figure out now how to best manage where the water's going to go. That's kind of where my challenge is at the moment. It is a trick. I mean, I can keep the driveway from washing out, which this seems to, putting the big rocks in and then refilling in seems to be helping to keep the driveway from washing out. Problem is there's still got to be water, and if the water's just flowing over the top, it just washes the top of the gravel out. Where we don't get the big trenches, we're still just getting the gravel flowing downhill, which is not good either. So probably ditches, probably that's what we're looking at, of some sort. Maybe some cuts like in the driveway itself with some grading like we have down by the garage. We actually have a nice trench down there. It's it's a trench with a piece of grading over the top, and maybe a couple of those throughout the driveway. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it, trying to figure some stuff out, but that's what I'm thinking today, at least. It did work. The good news is it did work. This not as well as I would have liked, but it did work. In fact, I'll walk back down here really quick. Okay, we've got some ditches like this right alongside the driveway here, and that catches things that come from up there, which is not that much that comes up from up there. That's the problem. But I talked about this area here the other day where Gabe and I had cleared this out. We put big rocks in here, and this worked out really well. As you can see, there's not a lot of gravel on the driveway here. It did wash down to so the rocks are actually showing, and I cleared this trench out that goes across the driveway there. Can't really point to it, and put rocks in there, and that seems to have stayed pretty stable too. So that worked out really well. So that's great. We've got some ditches cut in the yard. This is the lower of the two of them. There's one that's up there in the trees, and they catch water that comes down off the slope here and puts it in this, which you can see the culvert here, which runs underneath the driveway and over there, and then eventually out into the woods, which is fine. That's kind of what we want. We want it all to go down to the woods and avoid the house. As much as the driveway is a pain to have it wash out and have to fix it all the time, the ultimate goal is to avoid the house and not end up flooding the house. So that's what we're working on, and it seems to be working okay. I mean, every day's an adventure around here sometimes, but it's working, so that's good. One step at a time. Like I said, the rocks worked really well at stabilizing the driveway, so that's good. Now I just got to figure out how to hold it in. And I know, yes, I know that the ultimate answer is to pave it. And I don't want to do that. It's super expensive, and this is a big driveway. But it's not just about the expense. If I had the money, I'm not sure I would do it anyway, because this is better ecologically, because the water can flow into the driveway, can soak down into the ground, and that's better for the environment versus blacktop or concrete where water's just going to flow off. Yes, water does flow off this, but not, pavement is not always the right answer, but it is what it is. So this is improvement, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, so that's my update about this. This is a good day. The van went out that way, my car went out that way, and both of them seem to do okay. I didn't ride in the van, so I don't know if it was as smooth as I would have liked, but I know the car went out that way, and it was pretty smooth. I watched them go. But the van is obviously the ultimate test. So, yeah, good things coming, good things going, good things doing what they're doing. So, yeah, we'll talk to you next time.